Have you ever had a passion so strong that it becomes the driving force behind everything you do? Why the dream to travel the world? Why the obsession with photography? For her, it was always the animals. Her love for them shaped every decision, every dream, every step she's taken. That excitement, that spark you can hear in a person's voice when they are truly passionate.
He's there! He's there! He's there!
We share this world with some of the most incredible creatures, and they've always been the centre of her being. And this passion, it was given to her by one man, a man that she had idolised for as long as she can remember, a man that has shared his experience and knowledge with the world for so many years through incredible documentaries.
I have been extremely fortunate to spend my life travelling the world to film and share the wonders of nature.
So join us as we step inside of one of those documentaries and fulfil a lifetime dream.
We are Amy and Dean.
And we are in Kenya! On this trip we travelled to Nairobi, then to Lake Nakuru, and then travelled to the Masai Mara.
So this was part of a group tour, but we arrived one day early in Nairobi because we knew that there were things we wanted to do. So we had a tour guide called Peter pick us up for the one day. Straight away we knew we were in Africa, didn't we?
Yeah.
Literally the second we drove, 2 seconds out of the city, we saw baboons at the side of the road.
We saw an elephant. I spotted an elephant from the car, like really far in the distance in the park.
So we pulled up at the giraffe centre first. This place single-handedly rehabilitated the Rothschild's giraffe and stopped it going extinct.
You might be familiar with this place because it's where the famous giraffe manor is. But we wanted to visit the Rothschild Giraffe Centre, which is next to the manor. So it's where all of the people work to help with conservation. We got to feed the giraffes there.
So we're at the Rothschild Giraffe Centre and we just got to feed all of these beautiful babies. And there is a moody one called Salma. She's the big girl and she headbutts you. I nearly got headbutted.
We then had a conservation talk from a volunteer there called James, who's a student, telling us how the centre came to be and what they do, which was really interesting. We got to hold some bones.
But then from there, we went to what we were the most excited for in Nairobi.
The Daphne Sheldrick Orphanage.
So this is an orphanage for baby elephants.
So there's a number of reasons why they end up there.
This is another non-profit rehabilitation centre. They actually have a YouTube channel and every single baby elephant there has its own story as to why it became orphaned. The people there just love the elephants and their sole purpose is to get these elephants back out in the wild.
Yeah, they've recently rescued a baby rhino called Raya, who is blind.
So Raya came out first and she's really cute.
Yeah.
She's really cute.
So tiny, yeah.
Little baby rhino.
And unfortunately the rhinos can't be released back because they're blind. They just would not survive. So they will be there for the rest of their lives, but you can tell they're really loved and looked after.
During this entire thing, the main carer has a microphone. He was doing a talk about all of the different animals. You can tell they really care about them, don't they? And then the magic moment happened. From the forestry at the back came running the baby elephants.
still so young, they need milk to grow and to be healthy. And it's so funny watching them like pick up the bottles and like literally you can tell they're so happy, like going crazy for all the milk.
In the middle of the feeding station is a massive mud bath, and we experienced all of the elephants just playing in the mud, didn't we? Loads of people at the front were getting absolutely soaked. So don't wear your best clothes to the elephant centre.
Yeah.
So we're currently at the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust Centre for orphaned elephants.
That was unbelievable, wasn't it?
I don't even know what to
Lost
say.
for words.
When it started, I was holding back tears. I was like, I can't cry, there's so many people.
It was the best thing we've ever done, I think. And they're so funny as well. They're all like really different. Like some of them are really playful. There were others that were like quite quiet and just wanted to eat. You can tell that they're really loved and looked after, which is amazing.
Well, to keep asleep with them, to feed them throughout the night is crazy.
So obviously I had to go to the gift shop, but all of the money gets donated to the orphans at the sanctuary. I was practical. I needed a bag to put my lens in, and I got a cap because I do not have a hat at the moment.
Now we go find our guide, Peter.
Peter.
From there, we didn't know this was happening, but Peter took us to a few local shops, and then he took us to a really interesting place.
So we went to a bead and leather factory where they make everything from scratch. So they made belts and bags and lots of jewellery, and they showed us the whole process of making these things. It was really, really interesting.
I even had a go myself with the clay mix.
Are you strong enough? Very strong. You can do that for 2-3 weeks.
And those women are definitely stronger than me.
Yeah.
Best bit is we had a welcome song.
I feel like that was the first moment where I really, really felt like, whoa, this is where we are.
And it was the first of many times on this trip that Amy cried.
Yeah. So there was a really, really cute older Kenyan lady, all dressed up and just living her best life.
Absolutely loving life.
Yeah. So I cried at her because she was just so happy and cute.
After this, we headed back to our lovely hotel.
Family ties among their babies and among the other members of the family.
So our driver Peter, who has taken us around today, he isn't joining us for the rest of the trip, but he was the nicest man ever, and we really wish he was coming with us. And he asked us for a selfie at the end as we were saying bye. We were like, yes.
He's asked us to WhatsApp him the selfie so he can show his friends. So we're going to go chill in the hotel for the rest of the day, because from tomorrow onwards, it's going to be carnage.
Yeah.
Today is our half rest day, so let's
chill.
go chill by the pool.
Good morning. It is very, very early. We are being picked up. It is the first official day of the tour today. We will meet all of the other members of our tour. We are leaving Nairobi and heading to Lake Nakuru.
Let's go, Lake Nakuru. Our group of 10 was split between 2 trucks, where we met Louise and her mum Lynn, who have become our best safari buddies throughout the week.
The drive to Lake Nakuru National Park would be the shortest journey of our tour, being only 4 hours, but we had some unexpected destinations along the way.
So we are in front of the Great Rift Valley, which in the background leads to a dormant volcano, and Lake Nakuru, which is our destination, is behind it. It's really far away and the views are epic.
You can literally see like
Great Rift
everything. It looks like something out of Lion King, like that everything the light touches is our kingdom moment.
Just gonna check out the goods while Amy speaks to our new friend.
We honestly went into this tour kind of blind. We didn't know we'd be going to the Great Rift Valley. And then from there, we ended up visiting somewhere called Lake Navaisha.
We are apparently going on a boat now.
Which we didn't know was going to happen, but we'll take it. I
And
did see a sign for hippos further back.
The one thing my mum told us not to do is to go on a tiny crooked little river boat where there are hippos.
sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Sam. It's like the lake at Habanero.
Saw loads of like birds,
Really cool.
really cool birds. So we saw a fish eagle, which I didn't even know was a thing. And then hippo, literally right in front of us, just come up, and we were like, what?
No, they're there.
Oh yeah, there's two. There's three.
Oh my gosh.
In this tiny
like
little wooden
canoe boat type thing.
that probably like had a hole in it at some point that's been plugged, and there were hippos next to us in the water.
We made our way across the open waters of Lake Navaisha to Crescent Island. We learnt that this is home to zebra, giraffe, wildebeest, impala, waterbuck and many birds. What's unique about the island is that there are no predators, leaving its inhabitants to absolutely thrive. It was at this moment that it felt like our Kenyan safari had truly begun.
Continuing our long drive to Lake Nakuru. So we got to the borders of the park. That in itself, driving through the park to get to our resort, was a safari drive, like straight away. We saw buffalo, more baboons in the road, just chilling.
The baboons do not move out of the way of the truck.
Yeah.
They know that is their road.
Yeah, the baboons own the road. Finally made it to our resort, so the Sarova Lion Hill Lodge, and it was beautiful. It looked amazing.
You sound surprised.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got there just in time for lunch.
So we checked in and settled into our room, which were like little lodges. They're
Really cute little lodges. Our lodge was called Baobab, so the baobab tree.
Welcome to Sarova Lion Hill Game Lodge.
It's actually based inside the Lake Nakuru National Park. There was a mad drive getting to here. We are in the middle of nowhere. We are now heading out on our first official game drive of the entire trip. We're going now. Let's go on our first game drive.
There is a particular saying that you will hear everywhere in Kenya when it comes to safaris, and that is the official animal checklist being Kenya's Big Five. This consists of the giraffe, elephant, rhino, the very rare leopard, and the lion. And an added personal extra from us is keeping everything crossed to hope we also see a baby lion. Now, if you remember our lovely driver in Nairobi, Peter, he also gave us his own personal list of animals to look for. He named it Peter's Ugly Five. This consisted of the hyena, warthog, vulture, wildebeest and the marabou stork. So these are all of the animals we would be hoping to see in the parks over the next few days.
So on this game drive, we had our first encounter with lions. We saw a female lion.
Yeah, literally on the side of the road in the green, came right up by the truck.
And then we saw two male lions. They were quite far away, so it was kind of teasing us.
Keep going, a little bit more.
Oh, there you go.
We had a rhino as well and a baby rhino come out on the road.
We're back at the lodge. We've just finished our first evening safari. It was amazing, wasn't it?
It was crazy good, really good.
We saw a lot more than what we were expecting to see. We always knew Lake Nakuru was going to be, well, less of the big five, more birds.
But we're going to the Masai Mara after this, and that's bigged up to be the lions and elephants and stuff like that. But
anyway, we saw lions.
And our driver told us that the number of lions in Nakuru Park is very low. So to see that many in our first drive is crazy.
I think he said in total there's a pride of 30 lions in the whole of Lake Nakuru. We're now about to go and have our buffet dinner, so we'll show you what that's like. Grab some drinks and there's going to be a bonfire.
Let's go check it out. So we are too early for dinner, so we're going to get some drinks first.
I thought it was going to be like, ooh.
And now it's time for some food.
The squeak.
I feel like I could go.
Is it even open yet?
So it's dinner time and it's buffet style. You all know I love a bit of food, so let's dig in. So we have got ugali, which is a Kenyan staple dish. It's similar to mashed potato. Peter, our driver yesterday, told us all about it, so I was really happy to see that is on the menu here. We have got tilapia fish, lamb shank, beef steak, and the most epic guy on the saxophone. So cool.
Yeah, so we then had our dinner and headed back to our room, ready for a night's sleep, and we had a visitor.
So we just got back to our room. I sat down and I was like, oh my god, we've got a little friend. There's a little lizard. And he's in between our windows, so we're going to try and get him out because at the moment he's got no way of getting out.
It's a bit awkward with the glass there.
See, if that was me, I would just pick it up.
Oh, he's well cute. His colours are well nice from the top. So, couldn't get him in the glass, so Amy's just going to grab him.
I actually can't reach, but he's some kind of cute little gecko.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's the awkward bit, isn't it? Got him, yeah?
This little guy was stuck between the vent and our window. It's got mozzie nets throughout, so it literally couldn't have got out. It must have got in another way. So I've rescued him, and now we're going to release him. Go. Ready, go. Go. Yeah! Way!
So, what a mad first day in Lake Nakuru. We are just finishing up our drinks that we had with dinner, and then we're going to get an early night because our game drive tomorrow starts at 6 AM.
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
Bye!
So our guide told us to get up super early today because we are going for our first sunrise safari. We're tired. Let's go. Also, we got back last night from our safari and we hadn't realised, and the sentiment is really, really nice, but they'd been into our rooms and they'd put hot water bottles in our beds. They came out immediately. We are boiling.
Let's go.
Woke up really early, ready for our first morning game drive. Literally, like within a few minutes, we saw a family of white rhino with a male at the front, and what we then realised was a black rhino. They were in a face-off. We heard rhino sounds for the first time, like them talking to each other.
Never knew what a rhino sounded like. There was something crazy about having only been awake for about half an hour and you were stood in the top of a safari truck watching rhinos growl at each other.
Maybe that's why they're vocalising to each other.
Yes, yes.
The one on the left, his horn's a lot bigger as well.
Yes,
at the front.
yes.
I had no idea they made noises like that as
If you
well.
can look closely, you can see the mouths are not the same.
That was a special moment from the whole trip.
Yeah.
Just, especially not ever having heard a rhino vocalise
And
before.
also, black rhino, really, really rare as well. We then drove out to like a part you wouldn't even think was possible being there. It was like open plain, like savannah style, and more rhino, literally
In front of
in
us. yeah.
front of the truck. Just stood there watching us, weren't
Yeah.
they?
That morning we drove through the national park exploring many different terrains, and after much time we finally made it to the wildlife haven that is the beautiful Lake Nakuru.
So Lake Nakuru looked incredible.
We saw for the first time, which will soon become our favourite bird of the entire trip, the marabou stork.
Them literally looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, scary looking, but really, really cool. So we've just got back from our morning game drive. No lines this morning. Hopefully later.
Now it is our first breakfast time here, so let's go. So breakfast was lovely as expected. The coffee, I love really strong coffee. That was a strong coffee. Basically, we went for a really early game drive. We were back here by 9 o'clock. Our next game drive doesn't start till 4, so now we've got a good few hours to explore. There's quite a big resort. There's viewpoints over the lake, there's a swimming pool. The lovely ladies that we're grouped with on safari have told us they've booked massages, so we might do the same. Apparently there is an African bamboo massage available, so we're going to have a look at that. On these group safaris, you are pretty much on holiday with these other people, so you're kind of hoping that you'll bond and have a nice time, and we've completely lucked out.
It was meant to be a lot more than just 4 of us. There's actually 2 vehicles, so the other vehicle is packed with the other 6 on our group, and we're with Louise and her mum, and they're just so nice. We're really lucky to have been paired up with them. Also, with it being 4 of us in the Jeep, we've got so much more space. It's
so much extra space in our room to do activities.
a lot easier to move around when you're seeing all these animals.
The reason that the safari drives are early and late in the day is purely because the midday African sun becomes way too much for us and for the animals. So this was our opportunity to check out the beautiful grounds of our resort.
So our hotel has the most epic view of Lake Nakuru.
So we're just wandering around the grounds of the resort now, and Amy is an avid bird photographer, and there are entire parts of this resort that are dedicated to birds.
We then relaxed in the pool with a few drinks. And then committed to probably our worst decision of the whole trip. Well, actually, just mine.
Okay, so the results are in. We have just come back from our spa treatments. I had a traditional Kenyan bamboo massage. We'll get on to that. Amy had a...
Express facial.
Express facial. How was yours?
It was amazing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I fell asleep. She had to wake me up.
She had to wake her up.
Yeah.
So I did not need waking up because I have just been elbow dropped about 30 times and beaten up with a bamboo stick. It was nice, but there were she had to ask me if I was okay at one point because she was rolling bamboo down my rib cage and I could feel it bouncing between each rib, and I must have gone like this. But yeah, it was an experience. It's fun. That's why we did it. We are now getting ready because our evening game drive leaves in what, less than an hour?
About 40 minutes?
Yeah, about 40 minutes. So we're going to get ready, go chill and go for our last game drive in Lake Nakuru before we move on tomorrow to another national park. See you on the game drive.
Going out on so many game drives as well, we did think, how can you see more? But every single time we went on a game drive, this entire experience, there was something new.
Within, I think, like 15 minutes, loads of vehicles in front of us all lined up. And we drive up, find a little space in between all of the other vehicles. You could see lots of game in the background, like zebras and wildebeest.
So you can see the tail of the whip?
You know something is rare when your tour driver opens his hatch from the cab.
Yeah,
and
comes out. Everyone was like mesmerised by it because it's so rare. Leopards are quite solitary and hide a lot. We were just lucky, looking like he was waiting to like hunt, and you can just see him watching. Also on that game drive we saw loads more baboons, of course. They were in their usual spot of the road that we always see them on. We saw more hyena. Towards the end of the drive, we were driving back through the main lake. Loads of birds, marabou stork, flamingos, pelicans. And then in the water, I'm like, there's a hippo.
He kept opening his mouth in the lake, like really wide. It was really impressive to watch. Every time I put the camera away, it'd open its mouth really wide. I'd press record, closed. I missed it every time.
I didn't miss it. Driving back to the lodge, watching the sun come down, all the trees and the water, like, it was really pretty. Saw our friend baboons literally in front of our lodge, and they were all lined up on the green, watching over the water, watching the sun come down. It was really cute.
But this was our last game drive in Lake Nakuru. The entire time our tour driver kept saying, wait till we get to the Masai Mara, wait till we get to Mara. But do not sleep on Lake Nakuru. It's really nice. Like, we would not change a single thing about going.
We were so like happy that we did Lake Nakuru. Like, it's really beautiful and you see so much. It's not just birds, even though the birds are amazing. Like, we ticked off so many things we didn't even think we would see the entire trip, because even though you're going on the safari and you expect to see these animals, it's still really like rare. You could go on a whole safari and not see much at all. Yeah. So we were really happy.
Let's drive to the Masai Mara.
Our drive to the Masai Mara took around 8 hours, with some stops along the way.
One of my favourite things actually was during the drives is passing through all of the local villages, and you can literally see how the locals live. All the kids waving to the trucks as we're driving
so
through.
many schools and kids and just
on the way up to school, just like
waving at us.
Being a very long journey, there were many roadside pit stops at restrooms that also doubled up as shops. These were full of goods for sale that had been made by the people of the local villages.
So we got to the Masai Mara, not the national park, but the Masai Mara area, and we had something very exciting to do.
How are you? Yeah, good, you? Simon, nice to meet you, Dean.
we got to visit a Masai Mara tribe.
This was the best cultural experience of the whole trip.
Probably that we've ever done. So one of the Maasai traditions is that the men have to jump, and they have to jump really, really high. Whoever jumps the highest gets the women. So all the men are lined up doing the jumping, and they need a volunteer. And guess who gets picked? This one.
I didn't volunteer myself, he just come up and grabbed me. I think I was stood at the front, so he grabbed me, pulled me up, and then told me I need to jump really high.
Yeah.
I give it my best shot. The tour group thought it was hilarious.
Oh God.
So we then had Simon take us in to the village. He showed us around, he told us everything about their way of living.
So this is just one big family formed by 1 man and 8 wives. So I mean we are all brothers, sisters. We are all brothers from different mothers.
So you see the knives we put a stamp.
And then he invited us to come into one of their houses, which was like the coolest thing.
Yeah. So now we go to see the houses.
The houses are made out of mud and cow poo. He said they last for years and years and years, and he showed us their beds, where they sleep. They literally showed us everything.
So maybe I require your flashlight on your phone so that you see.
Can we go in?
Yeah. And again have a video. And then maybe careful, you see the other side.
Oh look, there's a bed here. There's the fire bit.
Yeah, it's still warm. It smells lovely.
There's a chicken.
Yeah, there's a chicken.
This is unreal.
So you go see kitchen and now you see the parents' room.
Can I stay?
Yeah, stay. But don't stay without him.
Oh, okay.
When outside is too hot, inside is cool.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So when you build them, do you build them to the amount of people that will be living in here? Is each house different?
Yeah, each house different.
Different sizes.
Yeah.
Does that depend on
Children's they have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And they have more children, big house.
Wow.
They've got Crocs.
Children.
Should have worn mine. That's amazing, isn't it? Thank you.
The Masai are now going to show us how they make fire.
So let's see the fire making. Add more wood, make a big fire for the whole house. So one fire, light the whole house. So we are going to see from the men. Okay?
Our time at the Masai village passed far too quickly. It was a privilege to witness their way of life and heartwarming to see how proud and content they were, despite having so little. Their sense of community and happiness is something truly inspiring and something we'll never forget.
From there, we moved to the Masai Mara National Park. Because the Masai Mara National Park itself is so big, our accommodation where we were staying was the other side of the park. So we stopped immediately as we got in at another hotel for lunch.
So we're at the Sarova Mara Lodge. It looks incredible. I kind of want to stay here a little bit.
We're only here for lunch, but we're having a big group lunch.
First time we're all together for dinner.
So, let's go get some food.
From lunch, we then had a long drive to our hotel, but through the Masai Mara. Our hotel was like 2-3 hours away into the national park. So we had our first safari drive through the Masai Mara.
The Masai Mara is the picturesque what I and I think you had in your head of doing a safari in Africa. And once again, another safari drive, even more incredible stuff to see.
Is this mum and cubs maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, you can see they're a lot smaller.
You are right.
A mother and her 4 cubs were feasting on this unfortunate wildebeest. An intense experience and a very quick reminder that this land is owned by the animals and we were only guests. No amount of wildlife documentaries will prepare you for being face to face with the circle of life.
We literally left those cheetahs, drove, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Around a little corner to this little bush area, and there was an entire family of elephants. We got the footage and photos we wanted and then just stood in the truck and just watched for ages.
There was like 15 of them, and it was really like magical moment seeing a family of wild elephants for the first time.
Right next to the truck. It's going to cross. Look at the size of it.
He's like, I'll show you the way. Oh, there's another one. We were like, it can't get any better than this. Like, we've been so lucky that it did. Joffrey was like, we're almost at the hotel now. This is the home stretch. And then suddenly, he goes off-road.
And our driver, Joffrey, was lovely, but he didn't tell us much.
Yeah.
So if we were heading towards something, he wouldn't give us any inkling. I don't know if that's in case he didn't find it and he didn't want to get our hopes up. And there were no other trucks. It was literally us just driving across the grass for what felt like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like over massive rock.
Thrown all over the place.
Like, surely this isn't the route to the hotel.
The entire lead up to this holiday, we said, we won't be lucky enough, but there's one thing that we would love to see. And then he pointed at something.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Oh my God, oh my God.
A little Simba.
Good spot though.
Where? Oh, I'm stuck. Where? Just... Oh!
Come round here.
As we went off-road, I was talking to our tour driver and I said, Joffrey, have you ever got your truck stuck out here?
He laughed, didn't he?
And he laughed and said, a couple of times, and I think I jinxed him.
I think it's happened. Broken down next to the lions. Are we stuck? We're stuck. What are we stuck on? Are they just going to push us?
Push us?
Probably.
So we've just had an encounter with lions, but we're now stuck. So oh. Hey.
Sawa.
Yeah? Well, we ain't moved yet.
We might still be stuck.
We made our way back to the track, and as if the Mara hadn't already spoilt us enough on arrival day, we were then blessed with the most beautiful African sunset, slowly descending behind the hilltops of which our hotel was sat upon.
We had to get to a certain point and then transfer into another vehicle that was specifically designed to go up like that.
Toyota Land Cruiser.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. And our driver's like, don't be scared, and we're all sat there like, oh, we're not
So our
scared.
left was just a
like drop.
This was the most incredible accommodation of the entire thing. We have had an amazing day in the Masai Mara. So much has happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't even know we were getting a game drive today, and we have seen a ridiculous amount of stuff. We have now got to the Engai in Mara, which is right at the top of a cliff and overlooks the whole of the Masai Mara. We were sold a tent. This is not a tent. I will show you around in the morning, but
Room tour incoming.
We'll show you in the morning, but we're gonna have a drink and go to sleep. We'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Bye.
welcome to our tent. So, this is our tent. We've got a nice lounge area here. It's very messy because this is the morning after we got here. 2 double beds. We had separate beds last night because comfort is everything. Nice little desk for you to write your little novel. Got a shoe horn, which is perfect because I can never get these Converse off. I haven't quite decided if it's my favourite part of the room or the scariest part of the room. Last night all I could see was this face, so I made Dean put a towel on it. Right, now to the bathroom. Got some shelves and a safe, some cool ornaments, all made by the Masai. We didn't need to bring any toiletries because they're literally all here. I just heard something. Are you ready? Waterfall shower. And when I say that this is the best shower I've ever had in my life, I mean it. I did not want to get out this morning. And then Dean's favourite place, the toilet, even with your own courtesy bum washer. So when we were told we were getting a tent, this isn't what we pictured at all. So last night when we got introduced to the lodge, we got given our room key. We have to lock this place up. There's a lock at the bottom, everything zips together. And at night time, or when it's dark basically, we can't leave without an escort. And the way we attract the escort is a little whistle. I'm not going to blow it because then they're going to come and get us and we don't need them to get us right now. But yeah, and the best part, we are in the jungle on top of a cliff that overlooks the Masai Mara. Let's go for breakfast.
This is the decking and bar area of the restaurant of the Engai that we're staying at, and it overlooks the savannah. So we have just driven down from the hotel to get back to our truck. The other girls are on a different excursion today, so we're getting a little private game drive.
With our lunches packed onto the truck, it was time for us to spend a full day exploring the national park. The entire time felt like a dream. Like we'd walked into a wildlife documentary. We were shown why the Masai Mara is considered one of Africa's greatest wildlife reserves.
More lions. The male. Yeah. He sat right under that tree. Male lions are always sleeping. So we are driving to meet the girls from their excursion, and there are thousands of wildebeest because of the Great Migration.
We picked up the girls and then spent the remainder of the morning taking in the endless wonders of the Mara. We were almost ready to stop for lunch, but then we came across a group of vultures enjoying a meal of their own.
What are they eating? That's the question. Yeah, I can see the horns.
It's wildest.
Wildest, yeah.
So one of the main focuses today was the Mara River. This is when a great migration happens, where hundreds of thousands of wildebeest migrate from the Masai Mara to the Serengeti in Tanzania. It's all the same massive land, but they have to cross this huge river. So we sat up and had lunch, didn't we? They made us lunch boxes for this day. We were all sat watching. There was a group of loads of wildebeest looking to cross. But they didn't do it, did they?
No.
And Amy was actually one of the first to spot why they wouldn't cross.
Massive crocodile. And then I saw like 2 more and I was like, right, that's why they're not crossing. Went to another like smaller part of the river, which was called Hippo Point, where a family of hippo were.
We're walking the Masai River. Look at the size of these hippos.
The hippo in the water's opened his mouth.
Oh my goodness, it's a bit messy.
Further up by the river, there was like 30 odd hippo, all just asleep, piled on top of each other in the water. That was really cool.
We also come across a very large male African elephant on its own, massive tusks. And we all had a giggle because he was also showing off.
Yeah.
They've obviously just got the angle.
From here, we took a long drive and visited the Tanzanian border. So this is where the park officially splits from the Masai Mara to the Serengeti. It's just loads of rocks.
Yeah, like little totems.
Kenya, Tanzania. That day we had been out in the park for almost 9 hours and it was now time to head back to our hotel. Our bodies were aching and the heat was very intense, but we were not ready to go back. We would have never been ready to go back, because this would conclude our final Kenyan safari.
So we are back at the resort after a day drive in the Masai Mara. Where are we going? Where's the
We're going
pub?
the wrong way. This way.
Another incredible day.
But we had basically a full day's game drive. Left at 7, didn't we?
Yeah, and it's boiling hot today. So we have just had a really nice time by the pool. It is an infinity pool that overlooks the Masai Mara Wildlife Park. People were pointing out elephants in the park while we were sat there and had a good few drinks whilst talking to our friends we've made on the tour. We are now getting ready to pack to leave this tent tomorrow morning.
Don't want to go home.
We're going to go for dinner in a bit. And then tomorrow morning we have a 7-hour drive back to Nairobi. We do drive all the way back through the Masai Mara Park. So fingers crossed we might see some stuff on the way out. But yeah, we will see you in the morning. Bye.
With our bags packed, we blew our whistle and were escorted to the lobby where we would be blessed by the most beautiful African sunrise on the balcony. We had our final breakfast with our new friends and then it was time to leave.
We obviously had to drive through the park again to continue on back to Nairobi. We thought, oh, we've seen so much, like we've been so lucky. We've seen everything that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
But we had one final present that the Mara wanted to give to us.
We were driving on the track as if we were leaving the park, and our driver Joffrey said, because we obviously had to get back to the hotel, we have flight times, he said, we will only stop if there is something special. We were driving along, nobody noticed it apart from our new tour friend Louise, and she shouted, "Stop the van!" We were like, what is going on? Joffrey went straight back off the track, got us as close as we could.
And we watched this family of lions enjoying their breakfast.
With a 7-hour drive ahead of us, there was nothing else we could do but reflect on our time in this beautiful country. Our driver told us that most people will come on multiple trips to Kenya to experience what we had seen in one visit. And for this we are unbelievably grateful, and this was a dream come true. We came to Kenya for the animals, but we left with so much more than that. The beauty and hospitality of the people of Kenya is something we were not ready for. From the luxury of the resorts to the roadside coffee shacks, on and off the camera, we were greeted and met with such joyful characters that really made our trip extra special. The respect and compassion that the people of Kenya have for their animals and wildlife is something that we will remember forever.